Dellimore is the political editor for WBBM Radio. He joined the station in 1983. He was with the, at the time he was with the Associated Press Radio Network in Washington. He enjoys the challenge of helping to inform listeners about important issues facing them, and he likes to get behind traditional headlines and sound bites to illustrate why some political events are transpiring the way they have. So please welcome Mr. Dellimore. Enjoy the afternoon, get inspired, and we hope to see you as the years go by. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. See, I'm the one guy that gets a wireless microphone, which we're going to have to figure out where I should stand so that... Anyway, thank you very much for being here. It is really great and impressive to see a crowd like this come out on a Sunday to celebrate basically to celebrate community. And by the way, one community that may not have been mentioned, but I know is represented here, is Evanston. So you get... Aren't you glad we did that? But I do want to say, being a reporter, as Gail said, you know, our aim is to tell people about the world they live in. And some of those stories, I think, don't get told often enough. Some of them don't get told very well. Some of them don't get told at all. So occasions like this give us a chance to tell and to hear the kinds of stories that people need to hear. And it's the kind of stories that can tell us how far we've come when it comes to race relations and building strong, diverse communities. It's also a time to look at how far we've come and realize we have not yet reached the destination. And I think that is why this is going to be a really good occasion. I hope it will be, I know it will be, because it's not just looking back at the history, it's looking forward. But let's look at a little bit at the history, because 50 years after Selma and the North Shore Project, we're now here for a call to action, and that is that over the next 5 years, the Justice Project is going to work to ensure that 16 North suburban communities serve that aim of more diversity and inclusiveness. Now, just before we gathered here today, religious leaders met at Christ Church behind me to pray together and to affirm a joint statement of the just and welcoming, or for the just and welcoming community on the long and difficult path towards a more equitable society. We look toward our religious leaders for that, and I would ask that the religious leaders who are among us, and they are many, please stand and be recognized. Thank you very much. And if you would like to take a look at that statement, it is on the easel by the registration table, and you can read it for yourself. Now, as for the other part of the history that we're here to commemorate, appalled by the brutal Alabama state troopers' attacks on that first attempt by civil rights activists to march from Selma, Alabama to the state capitol in Montgomery on March 7, now known as Bloody Sunday, citizens of Chicago's North Shore joined Dr. Martin Luther King in the third and final Selma March in support of voters' rights. Marchers set out for Montgomery on March 21, 1965 under federal protection. 5 months later, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act. I would very much like the Selma marchers who are gathered with us to stand, and I would like the rest of us to show our appreciation. Thank you very much. Right over there. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you for your commitment, and the fact that you're here means your continuing commitment to making our communities stronger.